Introducing the CASIOTRON, made by Casio to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the original, the TRN-50-2A. It only costs $500. So, how many can I put you down for? Well, not too many, I hope, because there's a limited quantity. Only 4,000 of these are going to be made. And this is all about a watch that first came out in 1974. First of all, how many of you guys even remember 1974? I don't. I can barely remember 1980. That's like the first year that I have vague memories. But anyways, the TRN-50, it would otherwise be a El Cheapo Casio watch. In fact, I found a El Cheapo Casio that has the same aesthetic. If you didn't want to shell out $500, you could get it from the Casio website for $35.95. And this particular watch is the Casio A171WE-1A. Okay? And it's same aesthetic, huge price difference. So, what makes this CASIOTRON so expensive, and was I even tempted to buy it? Well, besides, it's a limited quantity, okay, and it has the aesthetic of an El Cheapo Casio, but the bracelet, is like a real bracelet, and it's not a big bracelet, it's a steel bracelet with like the clasp. I forget what kind of clasp it is, like a button deployment or something, but it does have features, okay? It's solar powered. The TRN-50 -2A is solar powered. Okay, so there's one feature right off the bat. But wait, there's more. Radio controlled, meaning it has multi-band 6. Isn't that crazy? All of us are like, Casio, keep on making the watches with a multi-band 6. They're listening, because I think that's great that this limited edition Casio has the multi-band 6. And what else does it have? It only has 50 meters of water resistance. All right, so it's definitely not a GShock. You can go swimming in it. I don't think you could play like water sports in it. Okay, in the band is a one-touch three-fold clasp. Okay, I knew there was some special name for it, and the case and the bezel made of stainless steel. All right, and so guess what else it has? A lot of you may be upset to hear this. A lot of you are probably waiting for my reaction to this feature, but it has Bluetooth. They're reimagining a 1974 watch with Bluetooth. Well, all right, so that will give those of you who don't have multiband will be able to access the Casio Watches app from your CASIOTRON Homage watch and sync up the time via the app. How many of you are excited about that? How many people would like that feature? Because that's, some of you I know like the feature, and you guys know that I don't like the feature, the Bluetooth, but, I'm rolling with the punches here. I'm testing out the Range Man right now, which obviously has Bluetooth, but guess what? I haven't even turned the Bluetooth on. I've had it for, this will be coming up to the 3rd week of owning the new Range Man. I've not even turned the Bluetooth on. All right, anyways, so this Bluetooth smartwatch link will allow you to sync up this TRN-50 to the time, and I'm not sure, well, I think it'll also tell the watch where you're located for the purpose of, time zone and everything. And you also have reminders and a phone finder. So that is one feature of the Bluetooth app that I think that some people appreciate, which is you can't find your phone, you press a button on your watch, and your phone starts beeping like crazy. So, how many of you guys are going to buy it? Because the thing is, it's $500, all right? Well, guess what else is $500? The new Range Man. So I put out a community post on YouTube, and I threw it out there about the new CASIOTRON watch, the TRN-50, and I said, hey, it's $500, same price as the Range Man. You guys gonna buy the new TRN over the range, man? And Mass Effect said, no way, Jose. The value of the range, man, is far greater than this. Yeah, okay. But it doesn't fit under the sleeve as well. Sathish Rao said, not a chance, irrespective of whatever the history and sentiments associated with this watch. So $500 is not worth all of the sentimentality of the Casio TRN. Mr. Rao will not be shelling out the $500 for the new TRN-50. Pile213 says, no, I would buy a Rangeman. Human First says, nope, would rather buy a Mudmaster or Frogman. Snap Fitness 1 said, hell no! I guess we don't have a lot of CASIOTRON enjoyers out there in the Beater Watch vlog audience. Or actually, this is the Beater Watch pod today. I'm starting this podcast. But I was tempted to buy it, okay? I got an email, and I looked at it, and I was like, well, actually, it's pretty cool. You know, it's a throwback watch, and it has some additional features, and it has multi-band 6. But then I looked at the specs, and I was like, there's no way that this dadgum thing is going to fit my 8.5-inch wrist. All right? That's like the limiting factor to a lot of my watch purchases is that they just don't fit. All right? And some of you big wristers know exactly what I'm talking about. Like back in the day, you know, I go to buy a watch. The watches would never fit. You'd have to buy the extended wristband. And so I do not have any confirmation that this CASIOTRON, the TRN-50-2A, will accommodate big wristers. All right? And, you know, I thought, you know, just to get it, just to look at it, put it away in the closet, and maybe sell it on eBay later for a huge profit. But I'm not really interested in selling stuff for a profit. I mean, I have so much problems with the IRS and this current administration now that I can only imagine them breathing down my neck because I turned a profit selling a watch on eBay. I don't know if any of you are with me. It's just not worth the money to buy a watch just to put it in the closet and sell it later. I know that some people in the watch community have a totally different opinion. You know, they love buying these limited editions, store them in the closet, and wait and sell them. Like, I think there was like a white Rangeman, the Burton Snowboard Rangeman. I guess that, you know, you can sell that for a lot of money over the retail price. It's appreciated. A lot of these watches do appreciate in value. Just not worth the time and effort for me. Do any of you guys have experience reselling limited edition watches for a profit on eBay? And is it worth it? I want to talk a little bit more about the TRN-50, okay? Because the whole concept is pretty cool. You're just kind of updating an old watch. You're keeping an old aesthetic. It still looks like an unassuming watch, and you just added in some new features. Okay, so here's the burning question. Why does this have to be a special edition? Why not just like do this and not at $500? Why not just have a Casio watch? Just add in, you know, some more solar, multi-band 6, make it pretty, keep it around $100, right? Like, why? Why not just do that? Why are we making a $500 limited edition? By the way, the thing's selling out. You know, I can't complain about the price too much because some people are paying for this watch at $500. And again, if you like that aesthetic, there's an El Cheapo one. Oh, and here's another example of a limited edition watch that makes me wonder why not just make this like regular? And that is the GCW B5000 UN. And so this particular watch was the carbon fiber square GShock, okay? It had a carbon fiber bracelet, and it had a little bit of fine tuning on the whole the GShock square design, and I thought it looked cool. but it costs $2,000, okay, for a limited edition. And I understand that limited editions are going to cost more. But what I'm saying is, all right, so you did the limited edition. Now how about the regular edition? Why not have a regular edition carbon fiber GShock watch? All right? I would like to see that. And, with an updated MIP display. I mean, we all want that. I think it kind of goes without saying. But the carbon fiber as a material for everyday usage, I'm starting to warm up to it. I don't think it's really good for submarines, carbon fiber. Especially submarines going like way down deep, like the depth of the Titanic. Probably not a good idea. Probably, I would just assume it would not be able to sustain that much pressure. But in terms of knives and watches and everyday carry gear, I got my first carbon fiber knife. I got a Tecto A3 Delta in carbon fiber. And it's a really good material for a knife handle because it's light, and also it can be smooth without being slippery. And so I'm an appreciator of the carbon fiber now. And so a carbon fiber GShock watch with carbon fiber links, carbon fiber bezel, this may be the way to go. Okay. Now, obviously, a lot of watch people, a lot of watch guys, they're all metal, and they want their metal watch, and they actually want a little bit of heft so that it feels like, quality. It feels like something of substance on your wrist. And so, yes, a lot of watches are made of metal. But the thing is, the whole premise of a G-Shock watch is that it can sustain, vibrations and shocks from falling. And composite material like, plastic resins actually handle shock and vibration a little bit better than metal. A lot of the metal fanboys don't want to hear this, but that's kind of what happens, right? So a carbon fiber G-Shock sounds cool, but they make a limited run of it, and they jack up the price with the GCW B5000 UN. All right? So Casio needs to, I think that, if this is a trial run, I would say that the trial run is successful. All right? Let's get going with a regular production of the carbon fiber bezel and links and everything. And then, this CASIOTRON, the TRN-50-2A, supposedly it's sold out in other markets. It doesn't appear to have sold out in the United States yet, because I'm looking at the website now. There's still a button that says pre-order. And like I said, I was tempted to buy it, but I know it's going to be too small. It's just way too small, and it's not something that I want to buy, just to sell. I don't want to be a watch scalper. No offense to any of you guys who do engage in arbitrage. I won't call it scalping. We'll call it arbitrage. Right? I was tempted to be a WS-1700 watch arbitrage specialist based on the fact that the WS-1700 came out the United States, and in other markets like India was not available. And some guys were willing to pay up to get it. But I don't think it's a good idea to pay up for the WS-1700 based on the fact that, its appeal is that it's inexpensive, right? Don't pay up for an El Cheapo Casio. And I guess you would be paying up for an El Cheapo Casio if you bought the TRN-50-2A. By the way, we have the Beater Watch vlog, and so this is going to be the Beater Watch pod. So we're going to put the pod on YouTube. So I guess you can get on YouTube Music. I don't know a whole lot about how the podcasts on YouTube work, but they're rolling out that feature. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And the whole plan is that, the podcast will be that you can listen to it without watching the video. So if you're at the gym, you can just listen on your earbuds or whatever while you're working out. Or you can play it that everybody at the gym can hear, put it over the loudspeakers, that's fine. But it's not necessary to watch. But if you are, watching it, that there'll be video. I guess they call it video podcasts. But anyways, a lot of people are calling their videos video podcasts. But then in the video podcast, they're like, "Oh, guys, look at this." Like, what point is that? To say, "Hey, look at this," or reference something, that's visual. At that point, it stops being a podcast, in my opinion. To me, a video podcast would be, it's a podcast, but they're going to throw some video up on there for people who are watching, give them some eye candy to chew on while they're listening. So maybe we could have a gamer volunteer to like just have gaming footage on the bottom of the screen like they do on TikTok. Maybe my brother could do that. I don't know what video games he's into. I don't play. I mean, the only thing that I really play is chess, right? As Turd Ferguson points out, he's a rascal in the comments, or a menace. Excuse me, he's a menace, claiming some conspiracy theory involving chess. So that's really the only game that I play. I don't know if that would be appropriate to have on the bottom of the screen while I'm ranting about watches. So the TRN-50. Let's talk a little bit more about this history because it's kind of interesting. So in 1974, Casio comes out with this CASIOTRON, and it's like selling features that the calendar updates the day of the month based on the month, which, for those of you who wear automatic watches and have a date wheel, it just goes from 1 to 31. It's on you to make that adjustment. Like in February, only going up to like 28 or whatever it is. Does it go up to 28? Yeah, it goes up to 28, and then on leap year, it goes up to 29. Is that the case? I should know, it's my birth month. But there's fewer days in February. I've been through like 43 different Februaries. I should know this. I think this is like, what is this, my 44th February that I've been alive? Something like that. So the CASIOTRON has like a calendar programmed in, and it will change. So at that time, that was like cutting edge, right? And so Casio says that they're using, it's a meticulous reproduction of the original design, both in look and size. The external diameter is essentially the same at 39.1 millimeters, and the profile measures 0.3 millimeters slimmer. So yeah, that's way too small for me. You'll find touches of the original throughout this limited edition, echoing the first design and the textured case and band. Its dark blue dial, the CASIOTRON logo, and numerous other details. The case back features the same symbol as the original, slightly upgraded to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Casio watches. Each limited edition timepiece is accompanied by an engraved serial number, numbers 1 through 4,000, just to highlight how rare these special watches are. And it's made in Japan. It has all the basic watch functions, like a stopwatch that goes to fractions of a second, which the actual cutting-edge watches of 2024 do not have, right? The Rangeman stopwatch is just in seconds. So stupid, right? And the TRN-50 has a countdown timer that, or does it? Yes, it does. And the countdown range is 24 hours. All right. The new Rangeman, which is cutting-edge 2024 technology, the countdown timer only does 1 hour. So a 50-year-old watch, something like to commemorate a 50-year-old watch, has more advanced basic watch technology than a actual cutting-edge watch of 2024. How does Casio reconcile that? How do they sit in their boardrooms and like, do they even think like, wow, this countdown timer has no advantage as a countdown timer over a bezel like a rotating bezel on an analog watch. Unbelievable. And so the auto calendar on the TRN-50 goes up to the year 2099. And that's going to be a devastating year for Casio watch collectors, because all of their watches from like the early 2000s, you know, they're going to be like, the calendars are going to run out. You know, time could change. If there's like a meteor impact on Earth, it could adjust the rotation of the Earth. We might need like additional leap year days. You know, they should like build into the software of these new watches something that maybe in the next 100 years there's like a seismic event or a meteor impact, or, you know, like something from the book of Revelations happens that alters time. The results are pouring in for the community post that I asked who wanted was going to get the PRN-50. The TRN-50. Termit has not chimed in. I think that it would be interesting to see what he has to say about this watch. So we'll keep my eye out from that. And if you have any more opinions about the TRN-50, leave them below, because we'll talk about this a little bit more if there's more interest in this watch. But this is the Beater Watch vlog. The Beater Watch pod. And this is more of a collector's watch, or a special watch. I'm not going to put it in the category of beater watch. Definitely wouldn't be one that I'd wear to work. Okay. And I am wearing the Rangeman right now, and I am testing it. I have some footage I have to take off my little action cam, the Insta360 X3. Got some good shots of the Rangeman being abused. So I have to like download them and then get them to the right aspect ratio for the YouTube shorts. Okay, so keep an eye out for those torture tests for this new Rangeman, and I am liking wearing it. I got a comment from someone who was stoked about it, and Mr. M says, I bought the new Rangeman and love it. You don't have to connect it to use it on its own. To connect it is to use additional features which are not necessary. Again, I don't connect it to my phone and use it by itself and love it. So he loves a Rangeman. And so Rangeman enjoyers are checking in slowly but surely. And I am an enjoyer of the Rangeman. It's kind of hard to tell where exactly I'm going to rank it in my watch collection. Number one is still the Mudman, the GW9500. And I do like a lot of things about the GBDH 2000. So it's kind of unfair to pick between the GBDH 2000 and the Rangeman GPR H1000. I will make a comparison video between the two. And I will make a review video of the GPR H1000, the third generation Rangeman. Even though I haven't gone through every feature, I think that I can make a review of it to this point that I think that will be helpful for someone who's on the fence whether or not you want to buy it. It won't be like a comprehensive review. It will be, I'll just have to be upfront and be like, listen, this is just after 3 weeks. Here's my review. So stay tuned for that one. Remember, gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kinkade. Thanks for watching.